Hi everyone, today I am sharing with you the way that I find it easier to create a nice dramatic eyeshadow look. The question I get asked the most by sort of friends and family and people I know that aren't very confident in makeup is how the hell do I do eyeshadow? It probably is one of the most difficult areas of makeup, to be honest, and I don't wear an awful lot of eyeshadow day to day, but I've kind of got my go-to look if I'm going out of a weekend or if I'm going somewhere of a night but I don't want full-on major drama in my eyeshadow. I've got this sort of go-to technique that I use now, and that's what I've got on my face now. So if you'd like to see how I create it and my tips for sort of working with it, especially if you're a beginner, then do keep watching. So because it's got so many options, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution 144 eyeshadow palette 2016 collection. As I said, simply because it has got so many different options of colours, but obviously you can use any palette, any single eyeshadows, whatever you've got in your collection. So the way I think about it is that you need three colours. You need a transition colour for your crease, which I always like to be matte because I think it's more flattering, and that's quite a sort of light to medium toned colour. I then have a lighter colour for my lid, and I have an accent colour which is a darker colour for the outer V. So that is the three colours that I tend to use for a sort of simple but still glam looking eyeshadow look. And then obviously you can choose any colour within those sort of shades, if that makes sense. So you could do a blue one, a purple one, a browny bronzy one, you could do a green one, you could literally do any colour as long as you've got the three different colours. So today I'm going to go for a bronzy brownie based look because I think it's quite flattering on a number of different eye colours and skin tones, and it's also one of the most easy ones to pull off in terms of actually applying it because I think those colours are much easier to work with and easy to blend. So for the crease colour, I like to use a fluffy crease brush such as this one. This is from Crown. I think Crown is really reasonable and really good quality. The only disadvantage being, as far as I'm aware, you can only buy them online, so you can't sort of feel and try before you buy or go into a shop. So when I say crease colour and we're going for brown, I am talking about this kind of colour here. It's matte and it's not focusing, but it's sort of medium, light to medium in terms of the actual deepness of the shade. So this is literally just going in a sweeping motion right in your crease and just above, and even just below. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit untidy at this stage. So I'm aware it's messy around the edge at the moment. I tied it up at the end rather than try and keep it neat as I go along, and I think if you are a beginner, that's the easiest way to do it rather than worry about it as you go along. So as you can see, that's just really deepened up the crease and given my eye a lot more definition. So now what I do is choose a light shade. Now obviously there's loads of different ways you can do a glamorous eye, but I think if you're not very good at blending or if you're new to eyeshadow, and this is particularly good for people with smaller eyes, a lighter shade on the lid itself will brighten up the eyes and make them look a lot bigger. And this is where you could either use matte or glitter or shimmer depending on what your preference is. So today I'm going to use this very light creamy colour here. It's sort of a yellowy base, isn't it? Again, it's not focusing, I do apologise, but you get the idea, and that's just going to go all over the lid. I like to use just a standard flat brush for this kind of eyeshadow, and this is again from Crown, part of the same set that the blending brush was from. This bit's got to be the easiest bit as well because it's literally just putting it all over your lid. And then you can use the same brush and the same colour just to go underneath the brow bone to highlight that, and that also helps blend out the crease colour you've put in. And then the final colour you want to pick is the deepest colour, your accent colour, and this is going to go on the outer V, and this is where you can really sort of choose any colour you want. So I'm going to go for a more shimmery shade for this, but again you could choose matte, glitter, whatever kind of finish you want. And I'm going to go for this deep brown shimmer shade here. This time I'm wanting a brush with a little bit more precision. So this is where I use a pencil brush, and this is a MAC 219, but any pencil brush will do. I've got much cheaper ones that I also use as well. So if I can find the colour. So what I do for this is just build up as much as you want a V in the outer corner of your eye, so in the crease, and along the lower lash line. And again, it's all going to be blended out, so having it very, very neat isn't vital. And you can build this up for as much drama as you want. So hopefully you can see what I've done there is done the outer V and then very slightly filled in that V, but with less product than I have done in the actual V shape itself. Still looks an absolute mess, I'm fully aware. This is where the blending brush comes into its own, and I spend a long time blending it all just with the brush that I used already, lightly dusted off so it's really got no product on anymore, and blend it all out. And that is probably the bit that takes me the longest, but that is the key to make it look decent basically. So that's what I'm going to do now. And when I'm blending, I do very tiny little circular motions, so as not to spread the product too far, but to just diffuse all the colour. Right, blended out. This is where the major tidying up happens, and I use concealer and a beauty sponge for this. You could use a Real Techniques one, you could use a beauty blender, you could even use one of those just simple wedge sponges that you can get. You just need something to be able to tidy up the edges with, and I think that is the best way to get a more neat line. So this is just the 17 concealer in the fairest colour they do. Oh no, actually it's the second fairest colour they do. So I just pop that up the sides. Dab it in, and then sweep. This is where I pull real attractive faces. Just sweep it up to get not a sharp line, but just some neatness. Sorry about the sirens. So as you can see, there's no harsh lines, but hopefully it's just looking a little bit more tidy. Then I go back in with my pencil brush and the same deep colour and drag that under the on the lower lash line itself, so it all ties in. So you could totally leave it like this. So that's 3 different eyeshadow colours. It's not super quick, I realise, but I think it's quite simple in terms of the amount of skill that you need, and with practice it's really easy to get right. And you don't even need to put any eyeliner on it with it as well. So if you're not into eyeliner, you could just add some mascara now and you're away. Or if you wanted to make it look a little bit more dramatic, you could add 1 or 2 more colours in. I'm going to do that now just to show you how I would build it up a little bit more. So just to make the middle of the eyelid pop a little bit, I sometimes like to add a lighter shimmery colour on there. Just again with a flat brush that I've used. The whole look has only used the 3 different brushes. So again, colour choice is up to you, but where I've gone with browns and bronzes, I'm going to keep it in that colour family. And I'm going to go for this light shimmery shade here. Literally just put it on the middle of your eyelids, basically where your pupil would be. And then just for a touch of extra, you can put a little bit of very light colour in the corner just to brighten that. So something such as this really light shimmery shade here, just a little touch in the corner, just brightens up the eye a little bit more. So there we go. As I say, you could add a wing if you are a bit more skilled. You could do no eyeliner whatsoever. You could just do a simple black or brown line and then stick on some mascara. So I'm going to go away and do that now. So that's the finished look with the rest of my makeup done. Hopefully you found that helpful. I just think it's a relatively simple way to get a nice eyeshadow look without having to spend too much time. I know it's not super quick, as I said, but once you've got the technique down, you can start to play with different colours and you can start to speed it up a little bit as well. And I just think it looks like a very sort of well put together eye look without having to have too much skill, because I certainly don't have a hell of a lot of skill. As I say, always on my channel, I've got no professional qualifications. I'm sort of learning as I go by putting it on my face on camera. So hopefully you found that helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you have done, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.